Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. This is Runway DFW, in color.
Out of the blue of the western sky comes
Runway DFW.
From Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas. This is Runway DFW, in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Well, my apologies for that delay in getting on the air. You'd think I had done this before, but it's Saturday. What is today? Saturday, January 14th, 2023. And we've got another show for the new year. We've got the wind coming from the south. It's 63 degrees Fahrenheit here at the big airport. And we've got lots to bring you as long as our connection holds up. So cross your fingers for another edition of Runway DFW. So, good afternoon, all of you. We've got lots of our friends here. We've got Bill Caldum checking in from Southwest Arkansas. Becky Davies is here. Beve says that she is in favor of our intro. Thank you. Finally, I was broadcasting for a while, and I was saying, well, why isn't anybody here? And it's because a button I forgot to hit, so sorry about that. Ms. Walls 13 says, hi, Walt. Hello, another one of our great moderators. Our friend Epic Toast Man, who is yet another DFW area broadcaster, says hello.
American 2627.
And let's see what else here. Of course, we've got Chuck Tolsma here in person. You may have seen him during the intro there. So we've got lots of things to see today. Yeah, Chuck was saying line up and wait as he was watching me scurrying to get everything broadcasting. We've got, let's see, I'm going to count them now. 1, 2, 3 different hotspot connections available to us right now. I'm using the one that seems the fastest, and I hope it'll hold out, and if not, we'll have to fall back to some others, and we'll just see. Emery wants to know, what did you figure out what was wrong with the last broadcast? Well, it seems to have to do with the connection that we have here at Founders Plaza. It's not as good as it used to be. So we're dealing with that, which is why we're coming to in glorious 720p instead of 1080p this afternoon. We say hello to Sam Richardson. Hello from Manchester. How are you doing? I'm doing well now that we're on the air. Let's see, we got Scott Smith saying hello. Runway DFW. Hi, Scott. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, I'll try to pick it up as we go along, so hang in there with us. So we're coming to you via our tertiary hotspot today, which is my iPhone. And so, let's see, what else do we have to worry about today? The wind. Every time I get up from my chair, my little folding chair is going to blow away because it's not weighted down, so I'm just going to put it on its side. Let us see what we've got coming in here. Well, it looks like our first arrival is going to be a good one. It's going to be coming in from Helsinki. Finnair Flight 19, an A350-900, and it's coming in right now. So how about that for an opening gambit?
Big Park 1, let's take off on board 37. Frontier Flight 2135.
So there's that big old A350-900 coming in after the long transatlantic journey. There's a Frontier flight, Flight 2135. This is an Airbus A320neo. It is on its way to
Departure, great day on board 37.
Las Vegas. And there you see the East Tower of DFW in the background with the kind of hazy skyline of Dallas taking up the rear. Some sort of turtle on there. We've got our 3 cameras set up today. So if it gets boring, we can just point cameras in different directions. Usually Saturday afternoon is pretty lively here at DFW.
Nav, land, 18 left, clear takeoff.
Just a few hazy clouds in the sky on this otherwise sunny afternoon.
Departure, Frontier 2135.
We do have the south flow in operation today, and what that means is the planes are taking off right in front of us and landing in front of us, so that's good. As usual, we've got other plane spotters out here grabbing nice shots of the aircraft as they come and go. There is something different from when I was here last. That is just to the east of us here. You can see they look like they're digging some kind of a drainage ditch around the just outside of the perimeter fence here. I hadn't seen that before. That was kind of flat land, so I guess they're doing some terraforming to make sure that we don't get flooded out. I have some tales to tell about my last broadcast here with you guys. And by the way, we're coming to you from DFW Founders Plaza, which is the nice area that the airport has set up for plane spotters like me and you and anybody who wants to come on out and take a look at planes coming and going. Now there you see an American Eagle. Is that an American Eagle? Yeah, it's American Eagle Flight 3606.
American 2747.
An Embraer 175 poised to take off to Grand Junction, Colorado. And all but pulling out in front of it, I think, is going to get first dibs here is that American Airlines Flight 2747, an Airbus A321. That is on its way to San Diego. And it's going. Fighting against the wind this afternoon. It's a pretty stiff wind coming at us from pretty much due south, I would say. Southeast at 14 miles an hour, says the airport.
Departure American 2747, good day.
Got another international flight coming in next. It will be American Flight 49, a 787-9 Dreamliner from Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. And it's not quite in our sights yet. We'll bring that to you momentarily. Well, we have a super chat already from Jay Brockholt for a Canadian $2 super chat. Thank you, Jay. That is very kind of you. FBI said they saw the 737 with the AA logo on the wingtips. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Okay, we're about to see the flight coming in from Paris. Meanwhile, Emre just says, what kind of camera are you using? Along with this $2 super chat. Thank you, Emre. Well, we're using 3 cameras at the moment. The main one, which you're about to see here, is a Panasonic HC-VX870. It's kind of a prosumer camcorder, and that's the one we use as our primary camera during daylight hours. So we've had this camera for about a year now. We went on the air late in 2021, and I think it was either late in 2021, towards the end of that year or at the very start of 2022 that we got this camera. And it's worked out quite nicely. It just doesn't really do a very good job at night. Our secondary camera is another Panasonic camcorder. This was the first one we had. This was kind of like the trial one that I got. It's an HC-V 180. It's another Panasonic camcorder. It's their kind of basic model camcorder, though. And, you know, it's fine for most, you know, if you were going to start out doing this, I would recommend something like this if you weren't really sure what you were going to be doing. And this is the one that kind of got me started, the one you're looking at now. And as long as you've got sufficient light, it works very well. And our third camera today is this one. It's just a little GoPro clone that I got for $50, but the main reason I wanted this one is because it had an HDMI output, which I could feed into our little mini switcher here. So we've got 3 cameras for you. Chris Hayes says, I hope to be flying into DFW in October 2023, planning a 2-week road trip. Whoa. And we acknowledge another super chat. $7.27 from Kevin Lawler. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, we can hear him responding to you. 4 Golf Tango, American 1324.
That is super. That's super nice. Let's catch up with what's going out.
Alright, Pilatus 4 Golf Tango, American 1324, tower relay. You're clear for takeoff, runway 18 left, right turn, heading 240.
Well, let's turn our attention now to an Avianca arrival from San Salvador. There it is. It's entirely possible we might get a few wobbly arrivals here this afternoon as the wind continues to blow from the south. That was flight 440. It left San Salvador 3 hours and 14 minutes ago on a Airbus A320-200. Epic Toastman, our friend, says I just hit 50 subscribers doing a stream tonight to celebrate. Well, then after you watch our show, check out Epic Toastman, who I assume is going to be doing a broadcast from Dallas Love Field. As does our other local streamer, OZ Gaming 9, who's been regularly broadcasting from Love Field. So that's, if you like some Southwest action, check those guys out. They're both young people. Epic Toastman, I think, is 11 or 12, and OZ Gaming is 14, I think. But it's good to see some young folks interested in this very cool hobby. You get kind of the perspective from where we are of how where we are in relation to where the planes are landing.
On that Laren 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 1324, and 4 Golf Tango did acknowledge handoff to departure if you didn't hear it.
There goes American Flight 1324 off to San Jose, or to Los Cabos in Mexico, on the Baja Peninsula. Where'd it go? There it is. If you are new to Runway DFW, welcome. If you're unfamiliar with DFW Airport, you will soon find out that this is pretty much the home of American Airlines and American Eagle.
Away 18 left, American 1017.
about 85% of the flights being one or the other of those brands. So it's pretty American-centric here, I would say.
G24, I'll see you anytime.
And that's good and bad. You know, would I like to see more variety? Yeah. Got another Dreamliner coming in, this one from Cancun, Mexico, American Flight 1068. And we're about to pick that up on camera 1 here on Runway DFW. There you see it coming in with Highway 183, 114 in the background.
Departure on board the 16.
Took a little bit for that front wheel to settle in, but I'd say that's a pretty Land O'Lakes landing.
American 1673.
Epic Toastman wants to know, what streaming software do you use? I use OBS Studio, and there's certainly nothing wrong with OBS Studio. For one thing, it's free. How are you guys doing? What I'm using is called Ecamm Live. It is, you gotta pay for it, but I find it to be nice.
RNAV Laren, clear for takeoff 18.
But it's only for Mac
American
computers,
1673.
only for Macintosh. So it's somewhat limited in that regard. There is Alaska flight 415 to 737-9 on its way to Coffeetown, Seattle. A-Bomb says, I want to experience a 787 flight. I understand it's the most comfortable cabin because of a new pressurization technology. That, well, could be. I can't enlighten you any more about that because I've never been on a 787. I know that Kevin of Airline Videos Live flew an American 787 to Dallas when he came here last October. And he was pretty happy with his experience on the Dreamliner. I think it was the first time he'd been on one.
Switch departure American 1673, good day.
As that flight goes out to Seattle, I guess we missed it. There's an American Airlines flight coming in from Seattle. That one is it going to take off? Yeah, finally. Understanding, I think that sometimes when you see planes take off like that with a long time on the runway, it's less because they're heavy and burdened, but rather because it's all computerized and they're trying to just have the most efficient takeoff to use the least fuel. on the radar a plane that we missed coming in because it came in on the other side. But I think we can see it now if we punch up camera 1. And there you see it's Qatar Airways flight 99C from Doha. An Airbus A350. Again, it came in on the east side of the airport a short time ago. And again, if you're new to our broadcast, this is a big airport, and we've got 7 runways altogether. 3 over on this side and 4 on the east side. And while we can track planes coming in, we can't actually see them land from our vantage point. And this flight will often be directed over to this side for landing and for takeoff, but it's at the flight controller's option. And today they said, oh, come on in on the east side. So. And despite the wind, which you would think would blow any disturbance out of the atmosphere, we're still getting a bit of interference. Known by a different name. Do you know what that was? We've posed this question before in the chat. But yeah, when this airport opened up,
clear for takeoff, 18 left American,
when this airport opened up, it was known as Dallas-Fort Worth Regional Airport, which I guess was to kind of make it known that this airport was serving an entire region of North Texas, because it was kind of taking over as the primary airport from Dallas Love Field. But it wasn't until several years later that they decided to change it to DFW International Airport. Even though when the airport launched, it did have international traffic.
Good day, American 420.
Cindy Clement says, certainly sounds very windy there. Yes, it does. It would, if it wasn't for the wind, it's 63 degrees, it would seem like it would be a really pleasant January day. And it's not unpleasant. It's just, it just makes it seem colder. Appears to be coming in from Flagstaff, Arizona, this American Eagle Flight 3150. And we had something else taken off there. flight goes. I don't know where that flight's going. That's American Flight 1523.
American 1523, good day.
Marco Hinton says, I saw a classic photo of an Air France Concorde at DFW, and yes, I remember having seen that plane. I never saw it fly, but I do remember seeing it parked here back in the 70s for the couple of years that it was a thing. It's an interesting story. The Concorde that came here was flown by pilots of Braniff Airlines. And by Concorde, of course, we're speaking of the supersonic passenger plane that was co-developed by the French and the British.
1716 visual.
And only Air France and British Airways flew that plane. But Braniff made some arrangements so that when it got to, I think, Dulles in Washington, Braniff pilots would climb in the pilot seat, fly it subsonically to DFW, and as part of the procedure, Braniff technically had, I don't know if it was ownership, but they slapped an N number on the side of the plane that was different from the original registration number while the Braniff pilots were flying it. But even when they were flying it, the British Airways or Air France crew would also be flying in the jump seats behind them. So that service lasted for about a year and a half, I can't remember, but it would have been fun to be on one of those. Craig Russell says, hello, everyone. The Awesome Gaming Channel says, I'm at a hotel at DFW Airport. Well, you should come on out here and watch this in real life if you can, but, you know, maybe you're just relaxing between flights. Hope you're having a good time, and welcome to North Texas. Jamie D says, found this site by happy accident. Been to that park at the end of the runway, already hooked. Thank you, Jamie. That is so nice to hear. Frankly Flying says, hi Walt, Runway DFW. Yes, Streamliner, very comfortable. A380 upstairs also great, even in economy in the back behind engines. Well, you know, I'm certainly it's certainly on, I don't have a bucket list, frankly, but certainly I would like to climb aboard an A380, an A340, and a 747 at some time. Kaushik Chakaravti. Hope I got that right. Kaushik. Good afternoon, all. Hoping for some new international connections this year, Europe and Asia, maybe. Austin Swafford says, I'm going to the Grand Hyatt Hotel soon. Well, the Grand Hyatt would certainly be a great place to broadcast from. There you see it there on camera one. They've got a deck up there with a pool and a nice observation deck, and I would love to go up there, but I've tried to make the connection there, but the airport authority will not let me do that. I went through all the channels. Now I suppose if I rented a room at the airport I could get up there, but the airport would not authorize a live broadcast. Although the hotel was all on board with it. They said, hey, that's great, but you got to check with the airport because our hotel is on airport property, so they have dominion over what can be done. So if you're listening, DFW Airport, I'm still interested. I hope you'll change your mind. Did I even tell you what that was coming in there? I probably didn't. That was American Flight 2673 arriving from sunny Palm Springs in California. Just to let you know, in case you were thinking of tuning away, we do have our one A380 of the day. Bamboo just subscribed. Hello, Bamboo. Thank you for subscribing. Our one and only A380 that comes and goes here at DFW Airport from London Heathrow, British Airways Flight 193. It is now just 5 minutes away, and there's already people gathering to watch. There's always a crowd for an A380 here. I'm just trying to readjust this camera here. This is our wide camera. Ross says pool party this summer via Runway DFW. I'd love to have a pool party. That'd be fun to have a pool party up on the top of the Grand Hyatt Hotel. I mean, you can look at it on Google Earth, kind of look down on top of it and see what you could see, and have a nice, very nice view of the terminal area below it, the Terminal D area. As you can see, my camera's kind of wavering in the high wind here. Here comes an American 737 arriving from Omaha, Nebraska. So the Omaha flight came in on runway 18 right. That flight you just saw taking off there to Albuquerque was taking off on 18 left. Delta Flight 2955 you see there on the left-hand side of your screen. It's an Airbus A320. And that is destined for the Twin Cities, Minneapolis-St. Paul.
Flying left line for American 24.
Ruddy looking after I get done with this broadcast. The wind blowing at my face like this. We were talking about the Concorde before. Mark G says Braniff's Concorde to and from DFW made no sense. As far as I'm aware, the service never started. Just another great... No, well, it did start. There was a service. Check the records. It served... It was just kind of a continuation of a transatlantic flight, but it only flew at subsonic speeds between the East Coast and here.
RNB Park, 18 left clear, pickup, American 24.
Frankly Flying says, Walt, Runway DFW, be sure to check the 747 off your list soon before they are gone. Sounds like a great list. Yeah, well, I know my son lives in South Korea, in Seoul, and works there. And I've been there once, but flying on I think it was a 777 nonstop from here. And I know I could get, I believe, it's either Asiana or Korean Air still flies between the West Coast and Seoul with a 747. There's a way to do it. And we're looking at there in the field, in the open field just to the east of us. You can see people are now lining up to get underneath the big A380, which is about ready to arrive here. So let's turn our attention to that, get a nice long look at it as it arrives. It's again Flight 91. And there he is.
466, switch gear.
King o' the skies. It's going behind a pole and it will come out on the other side. Today, but nobody got in the way of our picture. That was a problem the first day that it landed. There were so many people here when the A380 returned, because we had previously had Emirates and a Qantas A380 service, but that was suspended with the onset of the pandemic. And so when British Airways decided to bring its A380 here last year, it was a big deal, and people I talked with who were regulars out here say they'd never seen a crowd like that before. direction the wind is blowing in, we can smell here at DFW Founders Plaza the aroma of the tread that was scraped off the tires as it landed here. It's a very distinctive aroma. Not quite as nice as jet fuel, but certainly you know you're in an aviation arena when you smell that smell. There's the Qatar plane we saw earlier. Kevin. Is that Kevin of Airline Videos Live? Kevin, sounds like you have a short in one of your XLR cords. Let me check that. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Well, let me... Oh, I can hear that now. What is that? Let's see. Is it doing that now? Okay, I think I may have had the volume too far up on the master. So I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Kevin. And we just had a new subscriber, and I can't see the name, but welcome. So when Kevin usually checks in, it's with Airline Videos Live. So I was a little taken aback there to see the word Kevin there. So I hope the audio is better now. We'll keep an eye on that. A-Bomb says that is my favorite airliner, and I think he's probably referring to the A380. There it is, just pulling into its berth now. Elizabeth is here. She says, nice to see it dry there and sunny. Been awful rain where I live and the UK. Yeah, we've had our share of rain here during the winter months. I haven't told you my story about what happened last time I was here. And Chuck, who is here, says I moved to the truck to spot because of the wind. And yeah, we definitely see a fewer people out here now that the A380 has left. But anyway, I was out here on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm trying to think of what day it was I was out here, but it was in the morning, and I finished up the broadcast ended early because we lost our connection. And let me interrupt there to say hello to Gerard. Hello, Gerard, one of the great members of the Runway DFW Moderation Federation. Thank you for being here. If you watch Airline Videos Live, you see Gerard's name a lot. And I feel very fortunate to have him with us as well. So anyway, I was telling a story about our last morning broadcast, and we were off the air early, and I went to my car to turn it on, and it didn't work. Now I have an electric car, and it had plenty of power left in the battery to get me home. But it was the 12-volt battery that went dead, which operates all the controls that say that, so when you turn it on, it signals the 450-volt battery to go. So I called AAA to get them to get me a new battery, and they came out and they said, yeah, you got a bad battery here, but because it's an electric car, we can't change that battery for you. You gotta take it to the dealer. So, well, I had to then get the car towed to the dealer, which was fortunately not too far away. I'm still hearing that clicking in the microphone, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's the microphone or not. Anyway, so long story short, I spent the rest. Yeah, I'm hearing the clicking now. Turn that down a little bit. Turn this up a little bit. Hang on there. Let me mute this for a second. Okay, you didn't hear anything there for a second because I had turned everything down. Let's see. It's a delicate balance, this audio. But while Kevin is here, we should ask him about tomorrow's Airline Videos Live Spectacular, because normally he starts at, 7 a.m. Pacific time, but it's supposed to be rainy there, so we need an update, Kevin. Let us know if you can tell us what the latest is. As we scan the skies for some more activity here, the next flight coming in is American Flight 2846 from Salt Lake City, an Airbus A321. It's Flight 2846. I think I said it was Flight 2846. How many times do you want to hear that? So Kevin says he's still checking about Sunday's Airline Videos Live Spectacular. Says no rain. Just holding off for a few more hours before putting the placeholder up. That seems like a prudent decision. moving into place there, you'll see momentarily American Flight 2028. This is an Airbus A321. This is headed to San Francisco, but right now it's on its way to the top of runway 18 left. Where we'll do a little spin around for us. We say hello to the cockpit crew. Parked under the shade this afternoon, one of the canopies here at Founders Plaza. I kind of wish I was out in the sun, although the sun will be peeking through the canopy here shortly. And again, it's not cold by any means here for a January day, it's just really windy. Frankly Flying says, Walt, I keep trying to get Kevin to bring back the cowboy hat from his time at DFW. It was a good look, I'll have to say. I think most comments were favorable. Michelle is in agreement. And Kevin replies, I'll bring the hat back on the next trip in March. Ooh, the next trip in March. Well, that's not too far down the road.
Runway 18 left, American.
And David Rodriguez asks, do you miss the brisket, Kevin? And Kevin says, yes, why do you think I'm coming back there? LOL. And Chuck Tolsma, who introduced Kevin to Topo Chico, says that he'll be stocked with a new supply, so that'll be good. And just so Kevin can see, our setup here today does include the Jackery batteries that he has let us hold in his hold for him until he returns. We're using them very gently in conjunction with our big marine battery today, so we're not taxing them very much. And they'll be ready for you and fully charged when you get back. I should straighten out that picture, shouldn't I? It's kind of hard because it's a very wide angle lens, very curved. I guess that's about as good as it'll do. Alrighty then, let's check out an aircraft here, shall we?
Departure, good day, American 2967.
It's kind of a tentative landing. That was American Flight 2927, just arriving from Tulsa, Oklahoma to the north of us on that Airbus A321. Getting busy on 18 left for the takeoffs. Don't know where that CRJ 900 is going. Cindy says, nice camera work, Walt. Well, thank you. But I really do doff my hat to Kevin while we're talking about Kevin, because he is just a master. I actually look at Kevin's behind-the-scenes broadcast to see if I can pick up any tips as far as how he controls things when he shoots. It's a thing to behold. Well, actually, I got to see it in person. And believe me, I was studying. That was American Eagle Flight 3744 from Midland, Texas. Just a 48-minute flight. Next arrival's from Denver, Colorado. Flight 2579, American Airlines, Airbus A321. And let's punch that thing up, shall we?
American 1618, go on.
Well, we should have a little more sunlight this time than the last afternoon broadcast we had, because the days are getting longer. Douglas Serrano says Qantas is now in the area. We'll be on the lookout for that, Douglas. Kevin Lawler says, Kevin of Airline Videos Live gives out free stickers if you stop by while he's broadcasting, and that is a really great thing. Oh, and Kevin says, gotta run, start working on tomorrow's show, see you all later. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for stopping by. We'll all be watching tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific, or whenever you fire up the Sunday Spectacular on Airline Videos Live. Coming in now from Zihuatanejo in Mexico is this American Airlines flight 384, 737-800 on runway DFW.
That's away 1 left, American 2514.
Oh, it's got the little American Airlines logo on the winglet. I haven't seen too many of those.
RNAV Lauren, clear for takeoff 1 left, American 2514.
Let's see, what do we look at here? What you're seeing there is American Flight 2514, which is on its way to Phoenix, Arizona. Here comes American Flight 2743. This one's coming in from San Diego, California. Let's see if we can bring you a little bit of American Flight 2808. This is a Dreamliner flight coming in from Miami, but it's coming in on the east side of the airport. So we'll look at it from afar. Because it's a big Dreamliner, we may get to follow the tail for a little while here. And there it goes. That's about as much as that one as we can see. Mr. Blue Jet says, what's the relationship between Runway DFW and Airline Videos Live? Well, there's no formal relationship other than a nice friendship which we have cultivated. I had a chance to help Kevin when he made his initial journey here to DFW last October. And but you know, we have no formal agreement or affiliation, or we're entirely independent of one each other as far as YouTube channels go. But he's been very kind to us over the months that we've known each other, and I'm always happy to. I don't think his channel needs as much promotion as mine does, but he's kind enough to promote our channel as well. So hats off to Kevin. He's a good guy. Let me check my... Okay, well, it's almost time for Qantas Flight 7 from Sydney, but before that, we'll get something else that's not American Airlines. Frontier Flight 502 from Denver. What's on the tail? Ooh, some sort of a big cat. And that was Spot the Jaguar. It brings to mind a story that was here in Dallas yesterday. The Dallas Zoo was closed to visitors when a leopard escaped. It was found later in the day, but apparently somebody had cut the cage so that it could escape. But here's the Qantas flight from Sydney. The 787-9. It's been in the air for 14 hours and 39 minutes. Looks like it had a bit of skew as it was landing into this wind. And for you Dreamliner fans, stand by. We've got another Dreamliner coming up just about 4 minutes from now. American Flight 280 coming in from Seoul, South Korea. Another long trip. It'll be about 12 hours in the air before, or 12 hours in transit before it disgorges its passengers over at Terminal D. Saturday afternoon here in North Texas. Vince Las Vegas says, "Good day to our mates from the land of Oz." And where are they? There they are. Coming into the shop there. You leaving us, Chuck? Okay. Well, have a good afternoon. It's good to see you. We're saying hello to Chuck Tolsma, who is internationally known as the man who introduced Kevin to Topo Chico. Arias World says, hello everybody. I was at Founders Plaza today. Think I arrived at 1 and was only there for at least 15 minutes. Well, David Rodriguez says, does American Airlines not fly to Amsterdam from Dallas? I think they do. Oh, we're having some buffering. Buffering, not good. So what that means is that, well, that means we're having some issues. Uh-oh is right. Hold tight, folks. David Rodriguez says no KLM either. Yes, we have no KLM here. We've got KLM going into Austin, Texas, but not here. So if you can see us, I'm trying to zero in here on this aircraft that's above. That's definitely a 4-engined aircraft, isn't it? Anybody want to guess? See if I can turn on the... That is an Airbus A380 headed from Dubai to Houston. It's an Emirates. So while we have Emirates coming in here at DFW, we don't have their 380s, at least not at the moment. But it's just making an appearance in the sky right over DFW. There it is, way far away. You can see how far away it is, really. But thanks to the miracle of zoom lenses, we could bring that to you. Okay, well, here it comes. Let's switch over here. We'll swing around our main camera here. It'll bring you the flight coming in, the American flight coming in from Seoul. If I can find it in my viewfinder. Oh, there it is. So once again, this is American Flight 280, 787-8. just shy of 12 hours in the sky. Mr. Blue Jet says American does have a direct flight to Amsterdam from DFW daily. I'm probably not here at the time when it normally comes and goes. I think I have seen it before, though. And Cindy was wondering, what is the altitude of that Emirates A380 that we were seeing a short time ago? And several of our viewers were kind enough to chime in. Jamel says 38,000 feet. So somebody always has the answer here at Runway DFW. We haven't even looked over at UPS today. UPS has a facility just to the south of where we are, and as you can see there's a nice shiny MD-11 tri-jet there in the foreground, and there's at least two of them there. One is a little harder for us to bring to you, but they're both parked. UPS generally doesn't operate its planes here on the weekend. At least not when we're here. And then you see to the left of it some of the other aircraft it has here. Peter Yu is our newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Thank you, Peter. Let's check out a United plane, shall we, as it comes in. Going to have a parade of United planes.
And a bit waiting 1A left American.
That one arrived from Denver. That's a 737-800, the old style livery. Ooh, I got to get our chorus ready. Ready, chorus?
1998!
Yes, that's an oldie but a goodie. And now the next arriving plane will also be another another United Airlines plane, flight 1640 from San Francisco. That's an A319. But before that, let's Let's shift our focus right over here to another Dreamliner. No, I'm sorry, this is a 777. This is American Flight 20 off to London, London Heathrow in particular, aboard a mighty 777.
Arnett to B Park 1A left, clear for takeoff, American 20th. Heavy, take care.
So there it goes, e-topsing its way to merry old England. Next to arrive is American Flight 2221. And that plane is coming to us courtesy of Morelia in Mexico. But you know what? Oh, I'm sorry, from Querétaro in Mexico. I was looking ahead a little bit. You'll be seeing there on your screen shortly on the right American Flight 70 off to Frankfurt via Dreamliner 787-8. But it's going to be taking off over there on the east side of the airport. So it's going to go over the bridge, and there it is. And yeah, it's going to go over a bridge, just over the highway that leads to all the terminals. So if you're driving along that roadway, and then all of a sudden you'll see this gigantic airplane passing over you. And those bridges can handle, I think, just about every plane that comes in here, except for the A380. I think, I've never seen the A380 go across there. I suspect it's a little too big for that structure. Chris Stone says, good evening from the UK. What's the weather been like in DFW, as I might have a couple of days there for work? Well, you know, it's kind of all over the place. Last week we had temperatures which were in the 70s in Fahrenheit, approaching the 80s really. It was really quite spring-like. Today it's a little more seasonable, perhaps even still a little warm. It's 63 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very mild. Nothing to complain about except, as we've mentioned before, the wind. That's American Flight 2580 from Morelia in Mexico. An Airbus A319, which, going by the N number, was a former America West aircraft. Next to arrive is Spirit Flight 1181. What's the deal with Spirit? When are we going to be... Has there been any movement on its merger with JetBlue? I guess it's got to get all sorts of approvals first. But I don't know where that stands right now. But anyway, it's an A320neo. Just a 3-year-old plane. Gleaming in the late afternoon sun. DFW on Wheels says hello from Grapevine, Texas. And Emre says, bye Walt, gotta go. Sorry to see you go, Emre, but we're happy that you could spend some time with us, and thanks again for your kind contribution to Runway DFW earlier in the broadcast. This is American Flight, no, I'm sorry, yes.
2140 is parking on the east side today.
Yes, American Flight 2140. From Phoenix. Wind is kind of buffeting your host around a little bit. MR Rice is joining us just home from a short trip to Oklahoma. And our regular viewer Tariq D74 says, hello there, Walt. How are you doing today? And good morning to you from my country, Pakistan. It's just so much fun to have so many viewers from around the world watching us. And you're about to see Spirit Airlines Flight 2701 bound for Las Vegas. It's an Airbus A321 going through your shot there.
On FE Mark, clear takeoff 18 left, clear 2701. Archer 2701, 80. Flying Boeing 18 left, American 2672.
American Flight 2672 is entering your shot there. It's an A319 headed to the state capital of Texas, Austin. Meanwhile, on the incoming side of things, we've got American Flight 2722 arriving from Reno, Nevada. An Airbus,
American 2652, clear for takeoff 18 left, RNF1.
a Boeing 737-8, or 800, I should say. Viva Aerobus steps up to the plate. Flight 685, that's an A320, which will be going to Monterey, the home of Topo Chico, the unofficial drink of plane spotters everywhere. But you know what, we're going to turn away from this plane, as colorful though it might be, because we've got another international arrival from Madrid, España.
Runway 18 left, and please confirm the departure.
It's American Flight 37 coming into focus.
Okay.
787-8 Dreamliner.
Departure and service are now waypoint Lawrence. That's it. 685. Thank you. Clear for takeoff.
10 hours and 20 minutes in the air.
2672.
So, are you a fan of the heavy jet? Because we've got another one coming up right behind it, American Flight 81 from London Heathrow. And this is going to be a 777. 777-200.
Encore Lauren, that's a 685. Today, emergency 685.
welcome. ETK says hello from Tokyo, where it's Sunday morning. Nice stream. Thank you, ETK. Robert Brailsford says good evening from Somerset, England. Hello, Robert. Hope you're having a nice evening there. I believe an earlier UK correspondent told us it was a little rainy there. Nathan Thompson says, hello from Rapid City, South Dakota. So glad to see your stream today. Originally from Tulsa, and will be flying through DFW in March. Well, maybe we'll be lucky enough to see you. Joe Richard is here. Good afternoon from the east coast of Canada. Always a pleasure to have our Canadian friends here. Tactile Coder says, I miss the days of loud turbojet engines. Now they're too quiet to hear. Well, I guess if you lived in the vicinity of an airport, you would probably be okay with the quieter engines. James Smith says hello from Princeton, Texas. Thanks for the live stream today. It's my pleasure. Coming in at this time from Mazatlan in Mexico. It's American Flight 2168 and Airbus A320. Arriving on runway 18 right on runway DFW. Our next contestant is going to be American Flight 1158 from Belize City in Central America. It's 737-800. Flying around up there for 2 hours and 38 minutes so far. There's about a minute left in its journey. Being a little shy. Come out from behind there. Gusts a little bit here. Arrived. BK says, hi, sunny in DFW, uncharacteristically gloomy in Phoenix. And our great moderator, Gerard, with a warning. It's kind of a warning that we at Runway DFW are in no way liable for any addiction to this channel. Topo Chico, Biscoff cookies, or donuts. Viewing this live stream is therefore entirely at your own risk. And just sign here to accept these terms and conditions. Here's Bill Platt, one of our great members of the Runway DFW Moderation Federation. He says, just checking in. I'm still around. I have a lot going on in life and getting back on track. I will soon be around more often. Love you all. Bill, we're happy whenever you can check in. Thank you for your fine service to Runway DFW over the last months. And whenever you can hang out with us, we're always happy to see you. Bill Platt is a paramedic in the state of New Jersey, where I grew up. As you can probably tell from my thick New Jersey accent. Actually, I had kind of a double whammy because I spent the first, through 4th grade, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, also known for its very neutral accent. There's a look at the North Radar Tower there and the gigantic American flag, which is next door to it. So you can get an indication of how briskly the wind is blowing this afternoon. There's also some people out in the field there, kind of hanging out, waiting for the next plane to arrive. And when it gets here, it will be American Flight 1770 from Fresno, California. And Bill corrects me, EMT, not medic, sorry. Very sorry, Bill. I don't mean to misidentify any of our moderators. Mary Extraordinaire says, I'm a neighbor. I'm from Jamaica, Queens. Well, that's so great. A fellow New Yorker. Okay, so we're waiting for the flight from Fresno. Still a little ways off here. But there it is. To 737-800. It's almost time to put my hood up.
Runway 111, American 2297.
So, Fresno arrival. says she lives in Kingston, New York now. Kingston. I'm trying to place that. Runway Collin County says, hello, Runway DFW. Hello, Runway Collin County. Always nice to have another runway on board. There you see, in your shot, American Flight 2297. That Airbus A319 is headed to Santa Ana, California. DFW on Wheels wants to know, what's your favorite airplane? And I guess this is a question for everybody. It's a pretty common question. As we say thank you to Mike G for an £8 and 99 pence super chat. Hi Walt, really enjoying the show today. Have a coffee on me. And there is his chat once again. Thank you, Mike G. I will probably do that once this broadcast ceases to exist. I did have a coffee this morning. Kind of got me going. I had some barn chores to do. I had to get in the F-150 and head to the feed store and get a truckload of hay and bedding for the two Rancho Runway DFW horses, Troy and Rain. So I've been on the go since early today. And Mary with, here come those Santa Ana winds again. You must be a Steely Dan fan. I love that song. We are about to welcome from El Paso, Texas, Flight 2379 American Airlines. It's an Airbus A321 from far west, out in the far west of El Paso. So anyway, to answer the question from a little bit earlier about favorite planes, as far as I'm concerned, my favorite is the 747, which we don't get to see any passenger versions of that plane here at DFW, except on the rare occasion of a diversion. We had a few months ago, we had Lufthansa 747, which was on its way to Mexico City and got diverted here. So we got to see that. And my second favorite would have to be the A340. So I guess I'm a kind of a A geek for four-engined aircraft. I've never had the pleasure of flying on either one, though. We do see the A340 come in here. Well, Lufthansa flies it here, or at least it has been flying it here. I haven't seen it recently. Marco Hin says Emirates A380 flight 211 just arrived a few minutes ago. Not here. Unless I really missed something. Runway Cavalcade says, I waved you while the A380 was taxiing to Terminal D and didn't notice me. The one who was waving at you is your friend, Runway Cavalcade. Sorry I missed you. Get a wide angle view of a plane coming in here. Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. So I have several new subscribers over the last hour or so. Peter Yu, Cuba 19971, McCrush Fan, Ryan Talatsko, Bamboo, Jose Valentim. So nice to have all of you as part of our Runway DFW family. See if we can give you a shot looking back here. That doesn't look too good, does it? So this is our camera 2 here, right here. That's what you see when we punch that up. And there's the sun gleaming in the background here at Founders Plaza, and the tower back there with the beacon on top of it, green beacon, which flashes in the evening hours. Oh, and talking about the A380, Marco was talking about the Emirates landing in Houston. That's the one we saw. If you were here with us earlier, we caught a very good glimpse of it at 38,000 feet in the sky as it was flying over North Texas. So it was kind of cool to see. We're about to bring you the arrival of Volaris. Flight number 892, It's coming in from Guadalajara, Mexico on runway DFW. It's an Airbus A320-200. I didn't do a very good job there, did I? Coming in right behind it is Frontier Flight 1550. On its tail will be Peachy the Fox. It doesn't sound right for a fox name, does it? Peachy? Well, in any event, it's an Airbus A320. There it is. Peachy the Fox. It's getting a little twisted around by the wind there. Welcome, Peachy. Marco says, I just wish Qantas would bring their A380 back to DFW. I always called it Big Red. Austin says, Walt, I'm waiting for Finnair Flight 20 to taxi out and take off. We saw it arrive earlier. That's a pretty fast turnaround. Let's see if we can pick it out down there. Is it lighting up yet? There's a Spirit Airlines flight off to Los Angeles, an Airbus A319. There, of course, is the British Airways A380 doing its turnaround thing. I don't know if we'll be here for its departure back to London. We'll have to just play it by ear.
B Park 1 in with clear for takeoff.
And Marco Hinton asks, have you ever witnessed an aborted landing and go-around while you were live? We've had a number of go-arounds. In fact, there was one night we were here, I think we had 3 go-arounds. And I was never clear as to why that happened. You know, I listened to the control tower traffic, and sometimes that'll give you a clue, but not always. And in fact, that one time I did make an inquiry to my friend Ian, who is a supervisor of the control towers, and he wasn't able to illuminate me And I went back and listened to the recordings of the air traffic control, and I just couldn't, I couldn't figure it out. But there's any number of reasons a flight would go around. Probably the most common of which would be a plane that's coming in a little too fast for the plane that just landed. You know, there's not enough separation between them, and so they'll just go around and make sure that they get a little more space next time. There is American Eagle Flight 3692 on its way to Abilene, Texas on that Embraer 175. Got another 175 now coming in. This is from Bismarck in the Dakotas here in the U.S. It's flight 3482.
On board, clip takeoff 20 left, onboard 3692. Doesn't look very good, does it? Just trying to get you a kind of a beauty shot of Founders Plaza here as the sun goes down. Our next arrival is from Torreon. I believe that's in California. In Embraer 175, American Eagle Flight 3708. Wait, Torreon is in Mexico. Apologize. Another big gust is now embracing us. Next to arrive is American Eagle 3891 from Huatulco, and I believe that's in Mexico. It's an Embraer 175.
There's another A319. That one's on its way to Santa Barbara, California. That one you just saw go through the shot. American Flight 1483, and then there's American Flight 972. That's an Airbus A321 going to Denver. So there is the flight that's going to Santa Barbara. And that's CRJ 900 that's entering your shot there. I don't know where that's going. Let's check out this Mesa Airlines landing. American Airlines, as you may have heard, is ending its association with Mesa as one of its regional partners. That flight coming in from, I want to say, Evansville, Illinois.
On our B Park, where they left, clear for takeoff, American 972.
So that's still an American Eagle flight, 5745, but again, I think it'll be later this year that Mesa will no longer be flying on behalf of American Eagle.
Departure American 1483.
That's the flight to Denver we talked about a little earlier. See if we can pick that up as it heads off on our camera 1. Got a lot of birds in the neighborhood this afternoon. I haven't heard the bird cannons going off yet. Those are kind of concussion devices which are designed to shoo away the winged creatures that obviously pose a threat to jet engines. And Las Vegas says glorious or gorgeous golden hour views this afternoon. And our moderator, Michelle RS, concurs with that. That American Eagle flight you see there is off to Lawton, Oklahoma. CRJ 900. But we're going to take a look at American Flight 1537, which is coming in from Las Vegas. It's an Airbus A321. Next arrival for you on Runway DFW.
Wow, it's 5 o'clock. I didn't realize it was so late.
We'll continue with our story following station identification.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW in color.
It is Saturday, January 14th, 2023, just after 5 o'clock here Central Time. And we're hanging out with you on Runway DFW, watching the planes and the golden hour here in North Texas. Along with all those birds. Oh, that ended abruptly. All right, what do we got here? Coming in from Kansas City, this American Eagle CRJ 900. The big airline and American Eagle both offer flights to Kansas City. That there that you're looking at is American Flight 2564, which is bound for Albuquerque. They're coming hot and heavy this afternoon.
Takeoff, American 1691.
You are watching American Flight 1691 off to Oklahoma City there. 737-800. And in the meanwhile, we've got a blurry picture for you.
Takeoff 18 left RNAV Blair in American 1207.
So the plane that just came in, no wonder I couldn't recognize the airport code. It's one of those we don't see very often. It's probably just a once or twice a week flight from Providenciales, which I believe is a Caribbean island.
A couple of planes getting ready to take off here. There's a United plane there on the right, off to Denver. You probably saw this one come in earlier. It's an Airbus A319, 21 years old, United Flight 2655. And here comes an American Airlines flight from Oklahoma City. And I do believe we've had another contribution to the cause. Let me check this out. It's from Janet Nelson, who says, I appreciate you being out there in the wind today, Walt. I was there for the landing of the A380. Now I'm watching from the comfort of my recliner. Well, that's the best. That's a good place to watch. But thank you, Jane, for that $9.99 super chat. Much appreciated. As Douglas says, it's a very busy golden hour here at the big airport. Let's swing around to see an A321 coming in. This is from Ontario, California. It's American Airlines Flight 952.
American 2233, 18 last line of the wing. Departure American 969, have a good day.
So we can catch this United flight taking off. Just to prove that it's not all American Airlines here.
American 2233, RNAV Laren, clear for takeoff, 18 left.
Julio L. Burgos Luna is our newest subscriber to Runway DFW. Thank you, Julio.
American 2081, visual 18 right.
Oliver Labat says United 2705 will be a ferry departing down to Houston Intercontinental with a gear locked down. If you can catch it, just pushing off the gate now. I'll keep an eye out for that. Thank you, Oliver. Look at all those planes. Going down at DFW Founders Plaza. Still a lot of people here. The parking lot's pretty full. A lot of people watching from their car.
takeoff on board 34.
That was American Flight 2801 arriving from Sacramento, California. Mickey is our newest subscriber. Thank you, Mickey. Finnair headed down on 18 left, says Austin. I think we can probably find that for you.
Boy 3478, going to departure. Have a good one.
The Finnair is pretty recognizable. There it is. Pulling out in front of the British Airways A380. So we should be seeing it take off on 18 left, says Austin. For our Canadian friends, here comes American Flight 2517.
On your left, line up point American 2277. American 2009, good day.
I believe this is coming in from Calgary. Let me check that. Yes. So welcome on in from the Great White North. I have a feeling it's going to get really cold here once the sun goes down. Some planes jockeying for position for takeoff. So American 2277 is bound for Amarillo, Texas. That's what you're seeing right there. We're about to see the mighty Finnair A350 go through your shot there. Quite often it gets directed over to the east side of the airport, so we're lucky to have it here on the west side today as it heads back to Helsinki.
I'll line up always. I'm on way 19 Sorry, 18, that's 1602,
route, we got to work, so we're going to roll short of Whiskey Hotel here on pod. Let's get on Whiskey's pod, so you want us to be on hotel. Go.
Our old friend Brad Ward checks in with a $2 super chat. Lovely evening light. Thank you, Brad. Always good to see you in the chat.
Runway 18 left.
I do believe this flight is rolling. We've got a little private jet coming in there. So it's coming in from Aspen, Colorado.
Departure, Phoenix 20, heavy.
There's that Frontier aircraft we saw earlier with, was it a Jaguar on there? Yeah, Spot the Jaguar. See if we can get a close-up of Spot.
Park 1 above, different contact, 505.
Left line up and wait, American 175.
It's flight 505, it's headed back to Denver, Colorado. I have to tell you, it's going to be so nice to get in the car and get out of the wind for a minute or two before packing up here tonight. Arya's World says, what time are the ending today? What time are we ending today? I think is what he meant to say. Haven't decided yet. How's that for a bad answer to a question? Hadn't really thought about it yet.
Runway 20, left American 2936.
That was American Flight 2997 coming in from Bakersfield in California. Brad Ward said, windier tomorrow, so you picked the better day. Yeah, usually we try to get out here on Saturdays. It works out better for us. I'll often have grandpa duties on Saturday, or on Sunday rather. It's American Flight 2926 arriving from Tucson, Arizona. An Airbus A321. This wind is relentless. Looks like we've got another big departure coming up. Meanwhile, this A319 is headed to Lubbock, Texas. American Flight 2936. I'm going to check to see when the A380 departs. If it's within the next 45 minutes, I'll probably hang around for that. I suspect it's going to be here a little longer, though. Turnaround on those big guys is usually quite lengthy. And you did see a big plane. And there it is. It's American Flight 48. It's a 787-9. This one's going to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. Paris in January. I wonder what that's like. Probably not the peak of tourist season. What I wouldn't give for a nice warm baguette right about now, though. I think if I had an unlimited supply of baguettes and unsalted butter, I'd be good for the rest of my life. Baguette with Kerrygold butter. Allison Inn, that sounds delicious. Douglas said, just saw the Finnair fly by my house. Hope you waved. And there's some talk in the chat about Kevin and Rudy making a joint appearance here at DFW Airport. That'd be so cool. Beve says, last I heard, Kevin and Rudy were planning for whenever spring break is. Because, of course, Rudy is kind of limited by when he can get away from his school duties.
Tarmac 2650 ready.
So the plane that's behind this one, American Flight 2650.
Left, American 2650.
Oh, that's got to line up and wait, so it's still hanging out there. There's two flights parked across from us right now. The flight to Paris and an A321 which is going to Cancun.
RNAV land clear for takeoff 18 left, American 2650.
So there goes the flight to Cancun. So the Dreamliner waits for its clearance to head off to Paris, France. Let's say hello to Andrea Molson. Hello, Andrea, and also to Raina Taylor. Hello, everyone, and of course, the wonderful Walt. Why, that's me.
And American 48 heavy ready for takeoff.
Well, it sounds like...
Okay, line up and wait, runway 18 left, American 48 heavy. 2650 switch.
Sounds like Flight 48 is still lining up and waiting as we approach sunset here. It's just going down beyond the trees. So I'm trying to get this plane to exit the picture. on camera 1. Then we'll pick it up on camera 2. Right there. Oh, it looks nice in that light, doesn't it? Picked just the right spot, too. To fit in our pre-selected frame. So I was going to ask everybody, what device are you watching on today? Are you watching on a phone, a tablet, a TV set, or a computer? I'm always interested to know that. Or sometimes more than one. I know when I watch airline videos live a lot, I'll watch the main stream on the big TV and the behind the scenes on my tablet or phone, or vice versa. So we're headed off to Paris. Well, I wish we were headed off to Paris. That would be fun. So I know what I'll ask you guys. Somebody in the chat can check to see what the departure time for the British Airways A380 going back to London is. I'll make a calculation then to see if we'll stay for that.
Okay, switch to parking today, American 48.
Allison in with a very nice $10 super chat for that fresh baguette and stick of Kerry gold butter after the show. You know, I wish there was a place to get a really authentic baguette around here. Sam's Club serves up baguettes. I don't know how authentic they are. They're pretty good. Not too bad. This Airbus A321neo coming in from Los Angeles. Flight 2181. There is a La Madeleine not too far from here. There's an acknowledgement of Allison N's super chat. There's a restaurant called La Madeleine, just about 5 minutes from here. They do have baguettes. I've tried them before. They're not. I don't know. I don't think they're that great. Sharpening Guy is our newest subscriber. Thank you, Sharpening Guy. We're losing the light here as we welcome American Flight 407 from Phoenix, Arizona, Airbus A321neo.
RNAV Laren, runway 18 left with takeoff American 1966. Thanks.
Okay, so it looks like Janet Nelson is saying 7:20 p.m. for the A380. And Gerard concurs with that. So let's see. So, yeah, I don't think I will endure for that amount of time here, unfortunately. Starting to get some golden building reflections as the sun continues to dip into the sky. Point camera 1 to the west to say farewell to the sun for today. We're kind of looking through some trees and some parts of the structures here at Founders Plaza. If we can pull back a little bit. Be able to show you that the tower has begun to spin. Oh, what's this? Can't tell what that is. Well, it's a plane. Can't tell you what it is. But anyway, we were pulling out to show you the tower here. And it's already got its green beacon spinning here. I think that's some sort of an anti-bird array on top of it. Here comes another arrival from a place I am unfamiliar with. It's the airport code HDN, Hayden. I have to look that one up. It's the Yampa Valley Regional Airport in Hayden, Colorado. It's American Flight 2622. It is a 737-800. And it's the next arrival on this increasingly chilly evening here at DFW International Airport. So I would like to acknowledge another super chat. This one from BB, $4.99 super chat. Here's that Topo Chico on me. Thank you, BB. You know, I do have a supply of Topo Chico in my fridge at home. I didn't bring any with me today. I didn't think a cold drink would really sit well. And Vince Las Vegas says, the signature Runway DFW After Dark beacon. Yes, we did feature that on one of our After Dark broadcasts. Jay Bueno says, hi guys. Hello, Jay. Jane says, I buy part-baked baguettes. We have Marmite and crisps in ours. Must be cheese and onion crisps. I've tried those part-baked baguettes before. Those are pretty good. I'll have to give that another try. And BB said, today isn't fitting for a topo, but I thought it would make you chuckle. I did have a topo yesterday when I was at home, in my warm home office. It's American Eagle Flight 3367 coming in from Fayetteville in Arkansas. Why are all those planes going down? Those three American Airlines planes, it looks like they're going down towards runway 36 right, as though there's about to be a shift in operations here. I can't fathom that. It seems like a pretty steady southerly wind right now. It's a little puzzling. Oh, I know what. So those three planes that are headed south there, I guess they're headed over to the east side of the airport after landing here. Well, we have an arrival from Tallahassee, Florida. About to enter your viewfinder. It's American Eagle 3796 and Embraer 175. Wish we had something really super special to finish off our broadcast with tonight. Scanning the skies to see if there's anything that qualifies. Next to arrive is American 2065, coming in from Salt Lake City. A former home of your host many years ago. This is almost the time when our primary camera starts running out of oomph. But what can we end on? What can we end on? Well, we haven't seen any cargo today, have we? That's a shame. Raina Taylor checks in. She is our special Olympian and an accomplished equestrian. She says, Walt, I really did awesome at my horse riding competition last week. Got 2 green ribbons and 4 blue ribbons. And let me pull that up again. Green means 6th place and blue means 1st place. Well, that is quite an accomplishment, Raina. Congratulations to you. We're not surprised to see that you did well, but we're happy to get your report. Thank you.
RNAV Airlines 18 left clear for takeoff. American.
O.22 says Cargo Lux 6696747 landing in 25 minutes. All right, you did it. I will hang around for that. Got to end on a 747, right? So we'll try to hang out till then. It's down to 58 degrees here, which again is not unpleasant normally, but this wind just makes it seem slightly less bearable. So the runway DFW hood is officially pulled up.
Left line of plate, American 1405. Good evening, sir.
I was going to try to bring you that flight from Indianapolis, but kind of disappeared before we had a chance to look at it. Do have a couple of flights lining up to take off over here. There you see Delta 1665. This is going to Salt Lake City. And just to the left of it there, American 1405, which is going to Phoenix.
RNAV Lair and 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 1405.
So the American gets the nod.
5 left, land boy, don't 1665. RNAV B car clear for takeoff, Delta 1665.
Delta flight wasting no time and lining up for its takeoff.
Twitch in American 1405. Harness the leaner, good for takeoff, 18 left, downway 36. To depart, Delta 1665, see you.
Douglas says Cargolux has entered the DFW area, and Chuck says, yeah, Queen would be perfect. DFW on Wheels says, I love Cargolux. And our moderator, Gerard, Cargolux from Mexico City, estimated arrival in 15 minutes.
18 left, land away, American 2130.
All right, I can make it if you can hang out with us. Sounds like a plan. Hang on, I'm just kind of adjusting our camera 3 here. Not quite balanced, is it? There you go, that's a little better. See if we can follow the Cargolux in. I was going to try to call up the Cargolux on our flight radar.
3660.
But I think that's going to take up too much bandwidth. We're kind of running a little short on bandwidth right now.
Blair, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 2103.
18 left, land away, American 1578.
That's kind of a pastel sky, isn't it, Michelle? So the question now is, do I try to switch out our primary camera for our camera 5, which would give us a better look at the Cargolux, but it's going to take me a minute or two to do that.
American 2103, good day.
So let me think here. Think. Yeah, we're just about at the point where our camera 1 is going to be looking pretty bad. So let me get camera 5 out of the box. And it's a pretty big piece of kit. Make sure it's got some battery.
American 1578,
Ooh, 20%. Let me pop another battery in there. please stand by. Should I put up our please stand by? Let's see. And that battery has 72%. That'll be enough. Okay, so now we have to do a little maintenance here. So hang on. Gotta detach our primary camera. I should play some music while we do this.
Disco!
Please stand by.
All your favorites. Disco time!
just in time. That took longer than I thought, folks. Sorry. So here's the thing, folks. I had never before done a live switch between cameras, which I know that those of you who watch airline videos live have observed that Kevin can do that in about 45 seconds. But I misplaced the mount for this camera, so I had to swap it with the camera that I'd been using. So that took a little while. So there's the cargo lux from Mexico City on our spectacular Camera 5. And I don't know if it was worth it, but there it is. This one does not have as powerful of a zoom lens as our camcorder does. It's a much bigger lens, but it doesn't zoom in quite as far.
We're ready, American 303. RNAV to be part clear for takeoff, 1 exit to American 303.
At least we had something a little more spectacular than an Embraer 175 to show you here at the end. And I think that's going to about do it for our mighty broadcast on this Saturday afternoon and evening. I would like to thank all of our moderators, members of the Runway DFW Moderation Federation. Many of those names you saw this afternoon, and I thank them all for their service to the cause. We'll be back soon, probably next week sometime in the morning, late at night, who knows, depends on the weather, a bunch of stuff, but we'll be back, and until then, thanks to all of you who joined us today, and happy contrails to you until we meet again.
Departure, good night, American 303.
Price is Right, which follows at most of the CBS stations.
We hope you liked it. Too late to change it now.